Rebecca here, and I'm so excited to be filming today's class at Northumberland Heights Retreat and Spa. It's located in Cobourg, Ontario. Such a beautiful spot, as you can see, surrounded by nature, beautiful hiking trails, beautiful restaurant overlooking the views with amazing food that everyone raves about. They specialize in Ayurvedic spa services, saunas, hot tubs, yoga. We'll have retreats here as well. So I will put the link down in the description for you to check it out. So on to today's class, we're going to be focusing on our throat energy center. So this is our energy center for communication. So if we have trouble speaking our truth, have trouble communicating, have trouble really listening to our inner voice, then we might have some stuck energy here, some blockages. Maybe throughout our life, we weren't allowed to speak up. We weren't allowed to use our voice. We didn't feel valued when we spoke. Maybe we were made fun of. So that can cause a lot of issues with that confidence in speaking up as we grow up. So we're going to work to remove some of those blockages and bring in that confidence in that communication. We also will work with our neck with movement. Our vagus nerve has so many connections in our throat, so we can work with this space to stimulate that vagus nerve and to really bring that sense of peace and calm back into our nervous system. And so that's what we're going to be working on today, and let's get started. Okay, so today we can start seated, or you're welcome to lie down if you'd like, if that's more comfortable, or maybe you're seated in a chair. Just finding that comfortable position and closing down those eyes. Just beginning to come into this space. Maybe noticing the sounds, using those senses here. Noticing what you smell. Maybe diffusing an essential oil for your practices. Bringing even more benefit in. Dropping into the body, noticing any sensations, any tension. These are those blockages that might be happening. Maybe there's specific energy you want to move today. And then noticing that breath, following the breath, the rise and fall of your chest. And then we're going to take some deep breaths here. And on the exhale, we're going to say that moo sound. So very stimulating, calming for our nervous system. All those connections in our throat. You could also hum here or make a really nice big sigh as you exhale. So let's empty out that air. Inhale through the nose, nice big deep breath. Noticing how that makes you feel, any shift in energy. Let's do that again. opening this energy up. Noticing anything that might be here to be released today. Maybe old stories, limiting beliefs. My voice is not important. I'm dumb, I'm stupid, my voice doesn't matter. What are those old stories that you're telling yourself when it comes to your voice and speaking your truth? That's the energy we're going to be moving today. And then when you're ready here, we're going to bring the right ear to our right shoulder, pulling that. We're allowing gravity to pull that ear down. And then with your gaze, I want you to open those eyes. And if you were laying down, just making your way up to a seat. And with that gaze, I want you to just begin to look around the space and notice how that feels. So many connections in our eyes as well, our third eye is here. So just moving those eyes around and then maybe landing up on the ceiling, bringing that gaze up towards the ceiling. Noticing again any emotions or sensations that arise, sometimes when we're working with this vagus nerve. It can be a little alarming at first, or maybe it brings that sense of peace and calm in. Just noticing, being with whatever arises. And then bringing that gaze back down, head to center, maybe circling the head a little bit. Maybe looking around the room for a moment. And then we're going to bring left ear to left shoulder. And maybe that gaze is moving around the room a little. And then maybe settling up towards the ceiling. And always being gentle with the sensations that come up, and if you do need to come out of anything, please do so. Maybe sitting in the discomfort a little bit, but always noticing. Sometimes when we have stuck energy and trauma in certain areas, in order for it to come to the surface, it actually is uncomfortable. We need to feel it in order for it to move through. Let's bring that gaze back to center, bring the head back up, and then again, maybe looking around here, looking up, all around behind you. I'm safe, I'm grounded, opening that throat. And then we're going to twist here, left hand to right knee, right hand behind us, maybe gazing over that right shoulder, breathing into the belly here. Let's come back to center, right hand to left knee, left hand behind us, nice deep belly breaths. And then come on back to center. We're going to bring the arms out into a T. As we exhale, we're going to round back, bring the arms to close. As we inhale, we're going to open, look up, open that heart, open that throat. Exhale as you round back. Inhale as you open, taking a few more. Really allowing that breath to flow. Bringing your awareness to that throat. I release anything no longer serving me. neck is moving. Maybe it's moving in circles. Just noticing how your body wants to move here. Open that throat. Allow that breath to flow. Maybe you want to bring the chest down into circles and open up. Maybe you want to round here. Making sure you go in both directions. Really loosening up anything here in the throat that's ready to move, as well as anywhere in our body. Really, energy is going to do what it wants to do. It's super intelligent, and it's going to leave when it's ready. It's going to move when it's needed. And then coming back up to center, right hand comes down to the mat, left arm alongside that ear. We're going to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach over to the right. Left sits bone stays on the mat. And here, maybe opening that heart up, maybe looking up to open that throat. Take a breath. Come on back up, left hand down, right arm up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach over to the left. So again, open that throat. Maybe look up, breathing here. And then come on back to center. We're going to come into a tabletop here. And we're going to do some cat-cows, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. As you inhale, belly comes down, crown and tailbone up. As you exhale, round that spine up like a rainbow, tucking the tailbone, crown comes down. Inhale, belly down. Cow, exhale, cat, rounding up. Now I want you to take a few more of these at your own pace, matching that breath to movement. Keeping your awareness maybe on that throat. Maybe there is a specific memory that might pop up. Maybe it's a thought that pops up. Allow that to be as we release from this throat. My voice doesn't matter. Okay, whatever it is. Whenever I speak, I put my foot in my mouth. Any of those old limiting beliefs. Really exhaling the sound. And maybe you're bringing some different motion in here. Maybe you're moving back and forth as you round that back from cat-cow. Maybe you're doing some barrel rolls with that torso. You can always bring the circles in, bringing them down, moving in the opposite direction with those circles. And then bringing that torso to stillness. We're going to bring the hands to the top of the mat, coming into melting heart pose. We're going to bring that chest down, maybe that forehead comes down. You can always bring that chin to the mat as well to really open that throat. Also working with our heart here. When we work with this throat, that heart is really connected to that area. So maybe bringing in that love, speaking with love. Come on back up to that tabletop. And we're going to sit back in a child's. Bring those hips to heels. Arms can come alongside the ears. Maybe that forehead comes down. Knees can be separated here on the mat, or they can be together. Finding your variation of child's and breathing. Really breathing into the back here. Really opening and expanding on your inhales. And exhaling, letting go. As we inhale, imagine this stretch. Everything that's stretching or moving, we're really pulling in this fresh energy. And any of that blocked energy that's stuck is actually loosening up as we're breathing in, as we're stretching. And then as you exhale, you're removing, you're releasing all of this energy that's no longer serving you. If you would like a side stretch here, let's bring those hands over to the left, stretching at the right side, 2 breaths here. and then back to center. Bring those hands over to the right, stretching out the left side, 2 breaths. And then come on back to center. We're going to come up into that tabletop. And we're going to lift this right leg up and back behind us. Left arm can come alongside the left ear for a spinal balance. Heel is pressing back, fingertips pointed, long line from heel to fingertips. Pull that core in. Now here, if you'd like to exhale, you can crunch. Bring that knee to elbow. Inhale as you lengthen. Taking a couple more, and as you lengthen, maybe you're really bending that back up, opening that throat a little bit. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Open that throat, a little bit of a bend. And then the next time you are lengthened out, option here to bend this right knee, and maybe bring this left hand back, okay? Maybe you're grabbing this foot, or maybe you're just in a bit of a twist, or maybe you're in that spinal balance. Lift that foot into that hand. Maybe you can look up, opening that throat once again. My voice matters. It is safe to speak my truth. The world needs to hear my voice. One more breath. Extending back out, and let's bring that hand and knee down, come back into a child for a breath here. You can always come into a downward dog as well. And then when you're ready, coming back into that table, and we are going to lift that left leg up and back. Right arm comes alongside the right ear in that spinal balance. Pull that core in. If you'd like to crunch on the exhale, bring that knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Maybe you're arching up a little bit as you lengthen. Taking a couple more, matching that breath to movement. And then the next time you are lengthened out, option to bend that left knee. Maybe bring that right arm back. Maybe grab that foot. Pull up. Maybe you're looking up, opening that throat. Lots of balance here. 2 more breaths. Exhaling with sound. And then releasing back into that spinal balance. Bring the hand down and bring the knee down. We're going to come into a downward dog, so you can bring the hands a little above the shoulders. Tuck those toes, lift the hips up and back. And maybe you're walking your dog out here a little bit, bending each knee. So in our downward dog, our knees are bent as much as they need to be to really get those hips up. And then you can work on straightening those legs. Heels are probably hovering the mat. They're probably not touching, and depending on your flexibility, of course. Heart is melting back towards the thighs. Head is hanging. Shoulders are back and down. Breathing here. Maybe you're still walking that dog out, bending the knees one at a time. And then coming to stillness here in your downward dog. We're going to bend these knees. We're going to step the feet between the hands. And we're going to exhale into a forward fold. Hanging here. Knees are bent again as much as they need to be. Let's rise up. Inhale, reach up, look up, hinging at the hips. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment, checking in with your body here. Noticing any emotions, any sensations coming up, moving through. And then we're going to bring our feet so they're hip distance apart. We're going to do some tense and relaxing here. So we're going to bring our arms down alongside our body. So we're in a mountain pose here, palms facing forward. So kind of combining our yoga postures with some of these polyvagal exercises for our nervous system. So we're going to really glue these feet onto the mat, maybe even rocking a little bit forward and back, really feeling the connection on the mat, gluing every corner down. And then coming back to center, now we're going to begin to tense those feet, then the ankles, then the shins, thighs, engage all your legs, both legs are engaged, feet are engaged. Pull that core in. Everything pulls up and in, perineum, pull it up and in, pull the core in, chest, okay, engage it. Shoulders are back and down, engaged, fingertips are spread wide, everything is engaged here. Now, are you breathing? Okay, you're tensing everything, but you're also breathing. One more breath. And then release. Okay, shake it out a little bit here. And when we're tensing, we're pulling in, or we're, again, squeezing all of that energy, squeezing everything, and then when you release, just imagine that energy, anything that's not serving you, just melting back down into the earth. Okay, we're gonna do that 2 more times. Feet come to the mat, arms out, down, palms forward, tense. So tense everything here, hold and breathe. And then release, maybe again, shake it out. Shaking any of that energy that we've brought to the surface, that we've squeezed out. And then one more time. Tense. And then release and shake it out. Okay. So let's come back to the top of our mat if you've moved. We're going to inhale these arms up, reach up, look up, stretch, stretch. Exhale, we're going to open to the right, right arm back, left forward in a twist. Breathing. Hips stay forward. On your next inhale, back to center. Exhale, open to the right, or left, sorry. Left arm back, right forward. Breathing here, maybe looking around. Moving that gaze around. And then come on back to center. We're going to bring the hands behind our back, clasp our hands. We're going to inhale, open that heart, maybe looking up, maybe bringing the hands a little off the lower back, breathing here. And then release, maybe shake it out a little bit. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, arms up, reach up, look up, really reach. Exhale, hands come back. Open up as you inhale. Now, on an exhale, we're going to come down into that forward fold, hanging. Maybe those arms are staying up. And then release them to the back, lower those hands down to the mat, hanging here in your forward fold. Let's grab those elbows, maybe the feet are coming hip distance apart, and maybe you're just swaying higher. You can always, if you have a block, you can use the block here for that flat back, or you can even bring hands to the mat. All right, let's, on your next exhale, bring the hands to the mat, step back into a plank. Take a moment here, feel that strength. Firing up that solar plexus a little bit here. That confidence, that power. My voice matters. Feeling that confidence and that power. It is safe to speak my truth. The world needs to hear my voice. And then from here, you can also be on your knees here as well in the plank. We're gonna lower down. So keeping those elbows by your sides, we're gonna lower all the way down to the mat. We're gonna bring the tops of the feet to the mat. Hands are by the side, and we're gonna come up into a baby cobra. Tops of the feet are on the mat, knees are lifted. Come on up, peeling that chest up, crown is up towards the sky, one breath. And then lower down. Let's bring the hands underneath the forehead. And then here, shake out those hips. Really move, shake those hips from left to right. Taking any breath you need. And we're gonna come into a Sphinx pose here. So these are all really great, all these bends for our throat, our heart. We're gonna bring our elbows under the shoulders here. Palms are facing down, tops of the feet on the mat, knees lifted. Crown comes up towards the sky. An option here to again work with the throat, the neck, the gaze. Let's turn the head to the left. Maybe looking over that left shoulder. Breathing. Come on, back to center. Noticing any sensations that come up as you're moving. Let's bring that gaze over to the right if it's comfortable. And then come on, back to center. And then let's release back down. We can bring the hands, stack them again, shake out those hips for a moment. And then let's bring the hands by the chest, and we're gonna come back in that child. Sitting back, taking a moment here. You can always come into a downward dog as well if you'd like. And then when you're ready, let's lift this head up and bring the hands onto your thighs here and just take a moment to check in. Noticing any energy moving, how you're feeling, which can sometimes be difficult to slow down, to be in this moment, to notice what's happening in your body. And then let's move on to our bottom. We'll bring our feet out in front of us. Let's come into a bow pose here. So feet can remain on the mat if you'd like, arms and chest up. Okay, your gaze can be up a little bit here, opening that throat. Option to lift these soles up into boat. Feeling again that power, maybe that power, that confidence, that yellow light from your ribs is moving up into your heart, grabbing that love, and then moving up into your throat. Speaking, I speak with love, I speak with confidence, I speak my truth. One more breath. And then bringing the soles down to here. So if you'd like a little more core work, maybe you are lowering down slowly, you can always grab your block. And then once you are down, let's bring the knees into the chest, give yourself a big hug, and maybe rock a little bit from left to right. And if you'd like to use the block here, you can place the block beneath your knees. Arms are going to come out in a T, and we're going to just exhale, bring the knees, rock them down to the right to hover the mat. As you inhale, moving the knees back through center, and as you exhale, drop the knees over to the left. Maybe you're really slowing this motion down, moving back and forth, just hovering the mat, pulling that core in. When we slow down our motions, even throughout our day, when we're making dinner, we actually bring that sense of peace and calm into our nervous system. When we're rushing, we're sending those fear signals. When we're slowing down, we're sending those safety signals. Next time you're over at the right, just dropping those knees down, maybe gazing over the left shoulder. Allowing that breath to flow naturally, taking any deep breaths or sighs as you need them. That is a reset. It's your nervous system resetting. When you're ready, come back to center. Let's just drop those knees over to the left, maybe gazing over the right shoulder. And then come on back to center. Release the block, bring the soles down. Now we're going to lengthen our body out, and if you have the block, we can use it, but you don't have to. We're going to reach our arms up overhead. Now stretch here. Really reach, and lengthen. Breathing. We're going to bring some contralateral movement in. So as we exhale, lift the left leg and right arm up. And then come on back down. Again, exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Okay, taking a few of these. Connecting the left and right side of the brain. Connecting that feminine, that masculine energy. And then the next time you're low or down, block comes in left hand, or you're just going to lift that left arm. Exhale, lift left arm, right leg. Noticing whether it's a little confusing. Inhaling, lowering back down. Exhale, lift. Taking some more of these. Core is tight. Matching that breath to movement. Next time you are lower down, we're going to switch. So we're going to bring this right arm, left leg up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm, right leg up. So you're moving back and forth. Exhale, lower. Okay, so moving back and forth with your breath. Sorry, you're probably inhaling as you lower. Exhaling as you come up. And then the next time you're lengthened out, let's bring those soles up to the mat. Bring those knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Maybe rocking a little bit from left to right. Maybe lifting that head and really rounding into a ball. Squeezing here. And then we're going to move into our Shavasana. So maybe that is on your back. Maybe your arms are down alongside the body, palms might be facing up. Or maybe you want your hands on your body, a hand on your heart or your navel. Maybe you're in a different position today, just finding where you're comfortable and would like to end your practice. Bringing your awareness to your throat. Envisioning a sky blue light here. And allowing this light to expand throughout your body, moving down and up through your head. I am confident in speaking my truth. The world needs to hear my voice. My voice is important and it matters. I trust my voice. I am listening to my inner voice. And then taking the next few moments to just be in this moment, this place and time, this present moment, allowing this energy to move and settle and release as it needs to. And you're welcome to stay here as long as you would like. Preferably longer if you have time. Maybe you're ready to begin bringing movement back, wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe the movement gets a little larger, stretching out. You're welcome to stay right where you are. Or maybe you're making your way up to a seated position. Let's bring across our arms over our chest, whether you're sitting or lying. And we're just going to do butterfly taps here, just tapping each hand one at a time, moving back and forth. Noticing anything moving into the body, any energy, any peace, calm, certain emotions, just feeling here. Noticing whether that deep breath or sigh moves in, maybe that reset. Just noticing if it does, taking a nice deep breath. You can do this at any time. Throughout your day, you can breathe anytime throughout your day. So many of these exercises can be brought into your daily life. Let's pause, take a moment. Let's bring those hands to heart, pressing them together at your heart center, thumbs towards your sternum. Maybe those eyes are closed or gazing down. And let's take a nice deep breath down in through the throat and down into the heart. In and release with sound. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you feel more calm